You work so hard. You show up every day. You do what's expected of you. But deep down, you know the truth. One paycheck shouldn't decide how your life turns out. But what if your evenings meant progress? What if your weekends built freedom? What if your laptop became more than just a screen? This isn't about quitting your job. It's about giving yourself options. While others crawl, you start building. Quietly, consistently, and on your own terms. No pressure, no guessing. Just a clear system you can run after work, before work, or whenever life gives you a turn. That's what Goldmine on hustlesafrica.com is for.
Tuesday.
Haikuzo makasi ni watafute uongozi pamoja wasitafute.
Kweli una maana gani? Una maana wewe ni binadamu ya mavi ya kuku.
Mashamba yetu harambe.
Nguruwe kujikanga na mafuta yake na Afrika itakwisha.
Padani agosho ngaino mwega na endesho de.
Wakati hiyo ilikuwa ukisema ngwe ndani ngwe.
And that pursues reforms in the productive sectors that will make use of the infrastructure. And indeed, infrastructure is I would say, the key aspect or the backbone of development. The agency will also oversee adherence to physical planning and social and economic activities that will improve the quality of life in a way that ordinary citizens can truly appreciate. It is worth repeating that such an agency will be aided in its work by the National Economic and Social Council, NESC. The constant evaluation of the implementation of the key goals, measuring of results and change in strategy as necessary must be a constant preoccupation of this policy and strategy unit. This aspiration is ambitious, but I have no doubt that it is achievable. Many countries like the People's Republic of China that are today regarded as developed were within living memory poor agrarian societies like Kenya. It is known that about 60 years ago, Singapore dispatched a delegation to Kenya to learn from our development experience. Then they went back and overtook us. South Korea, Singapore, Taiwan, Malaysia, and more recently China and Vietnam transformed themselves through deliberate policy choices, capable institutions, and political commitment to transformation over several decades. Perhaps the single most important lesson to be learned from our planning experience since 1963 is the need for sustained political support for the overall national development vision, regardless of political party and across the electoral cycles. This support must be transformed into a nationally shared passion that citizens can be proud of and identified with. We must agree to make the difficult choices in resource allocation that will enable our country to realize the ambitious programs. We must be deliberate in investing in industrialization, higher productivity in agriculture, and mass employment in quality service sector jobs. I repeat, quality service sector jobs. There's some jobs in service sector which are not quality. I won't mention them, but there they are. To make that transition,
Good evening, people of the internet. My name is not Jagero. My name is Trisha Wayua, and of course, I'll be keeping you company from right now all the way to 9:30 p.m. on this panel that is on the Political Headache platform. So today I am joined by 3 men in the studio. Ni vile tu hawajavalia black. I would have said 3 men in black, but of course they are here because we want to have to look at this conversation quite well, and it's about the new national vision. Kenya has a new national vision, apart from what we are used to. That is Vision 2030. So, and of course, this vision, because it is a report that has been represented, that has been launched today at State House, and of course, it has reignited a debate over the country's development path. While it builds on the ambitions of Kenya Vision 2030, supporters are seeing it as a renewed economic roadmap, while critics also are questioning whether it will deliver results beyond political promises. And that is why we are here tonight, asking whether this is a bold blueprint for growth or another vision that will face the same implementation challenges like we are seeing with the Vision 2030. So, but apart from that, of course, we have some political temperatures that we need to look at. By the way, today there has been a lot of things, a lot of activities, events taking place. So we are also going to look at, we saw some resignation by one Pauline Njoroge, that is from Jubilee Party, and we have also seen the president talking about university, that is the funding of universities. So he's saying that now every new student that is joining university from September, the government is going to cater for everything. Hakuna kulipa fee. That is one of the things that he has said today. We also have the issue of Albert Ojwang. Final hours, we saw there was a CCTV footage that has been released, and of course it is revealing some chilly details about his final hours. So there's also the issue of goons. Today the president ordered security agencies to crack down on goons. I know it is a question that it's a concern that people have been having. They've been asking, why is it that the president is silent, is quiet on matters goons in the country? So those are some of the things that we are going to look at. And of course, there is also another issue here. We have seen Rigathi Gachagua has started, is it defending Kindiki, Mountain West, Mountain East. So that is, it forms part of the conversation that we'll do right here on this platform. So I'm going to start with Wakili. Wakili, just introduce yourself briefly, and we can start off with this issue of Albert Ojwang.
Thank you very much, Trish. I want to start by telling our viewers my name. My name is Boniface Nyamo. Boniface Nyamo is an advocate. I am also an official of DCP party. I am its professional representative. Apart from that, I'm a resident of the city and a voter of this city. So at least I'm interested in the political happenings of this city. And I'm looking forward to a very fruitful discussions with these great men who are my friends, from Joseph Kagai to Gerard Oyer. So that is the farthest I can take my introduction.
Karibu sana.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much to have me once again. Surely it's a very, very active day it has been. And as he said, my name is Joseph Kagai. Joseph Kagai was actually in Jubilee Party. Now we are in Linda Mwananchi. And we are happy to be here. Thank you.
Karibu sa Linda Mwananchi. So we have DCP, we have Linda Mwananchi. Yes.
Thank you very much, Tricia, for having me on the political headache. I think this is the first time that meeting this new face here. I am Jared Oye with the Monica Name Commissar from the ODM party. I'm a NEC member in the ODM Youth League, and I also work closely with the Youth League president, that is John Maketora, from the ODM party.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
So we have the broad-based represented. You know, yesterday I had a conversation here, and the people of the internet were mad at me. They were saying that they wanted a balanced conversation. And today, of course, mumeomba tumewapa. So we have a balanced conversation right here. And like I had said, we start with you. I don't know whether you've been following what the case around the death of Albert Ojwang.
Of course, I have been following. If you are a Kenyan, and a patriotic one for that matter, you must have followed that case because it was a very unfortunate case. And calling it the death of Ojwang is not the right phrase. We call it murder, cold blood murder, because Ojwang was taken from their home in Nyanza when he was whole, when he didn't have any problem. He was not sick. He was brought all the way, all those kilometers to Central Police Station. He was locked up alone, and you know Central Police Station has many remandees. So this particular remandee was separated from all the rest, and then police officers stroke goons were sent to quote unquote discipline him. Unfortunately, I think they didn't know where to stop, and the person who sent those police officers is known. It is none other than the DIG. So when I had the opportunity and the occasion to watch that video, I was not surprised. I was not shocked, because our police force has 99% of good police officers, but we have 1% of rogue police officers. But I don't blame them alone. I blame them with their seniors, because the first goon is none other than Kipchumba Murkomen. The first goon is none other than William Ruto. Because let me tell you something. For person who is always overall in charge is the president of this republic. So if it was something like sports, we can say the minister is in charge, the PS is in charge. But as far as matters security is concerned, or are concerned, the person who is always responsible is the president. In this case, I can give you an example. The president has held quite a number of rallies in the city. Yes. If you ask the city residents, every time the president makes around the city, the number of goons he leaves on the ground terrorizing people, women, children, business people, is alarming. So actually today I had the president talk about goons, and I realized this is just lip service, because the issue of goons, everyone has complained for like 6 months now. And all of a sudden, the president has woken up and he has said we have to crack down on these goons. So I'm wondering, Mr. President, where have you been for 6 months, almost 1 year? Where were you when the opposition leaders were being attacked in Mweki? Where were you when the opposition leaders were being attacked in Witima? Where were you when the opposition leaders were being attacked in Othaya? Where were you when peace-loving citizens in Ol Kalou were being terrorized by hooded police officers driving very high-end vehicles, and they were passing police, what do we call them? What do we call these things that they put on barricades? They were passing police barricades without being questioned, without being asked anything. So we knew it was an extension of the police. So I'm telling William Ruto, I do not expect anything meaningful to come out of that statement. It was just lip service. That's all I can say. Yes.
I don't know, producer, can you play for us that clip, the video, the CCTV? Yeah, it's already playing. Oh, you're showing it on the screen, eh? Yeah. So maybe for them that may have not been following the conversation or the happenings of Albert Ojwang, there is a CCTV that shows him entering this police station while he's quite okay. Yeah? And of course, after that, he has been transferred from Homa Bay. That is the initial details before the CCTV. Then he was booked into police custody. So the footage confirms he remained inside the station for several hours before the incident that led to his death. Again, the footage tracks the movement of police officers. These are some of the facts about that. And IPOA investigators told the court that they reconstructed the movements of officers inside the station using recovered CCTV footage that we are talking about. And then there's also another fact, which is that 2 unidentified men were seen interacting with police officers. Right? According to the evidence that was presented in a court, CCTV captured a police officer interacting with two men whose identities remain a subject of the investigation as we speak. And then Ojwang was later seen being removed from the station while he was unresponsive. So the footage reportedly shows him leaving the station unconscious before he was taken to Mbagathi Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Then IPOA says the CCTV system had been interfered with. Investigators established that that footage had been deleted or tampered with, but forensic experts were able to recover much of the data. A CCTV technician is among those charged, like you saw him, her being questioned, charged in connection with the alleged destruction of evidence. So only one CCTV camera was reportedly faulty. Investigators told the court that the remaining cameras were functional, allowing them to reconstruct events despite alleged interference. So, and of course, a postmortem found that Albert Ojwang suffered neck compression, head injuries, and multiple soft tissue injuries, findings that contradicted the initial police account that he had harmed himself in the cell. So I just wanted to bring to speed those people maybe who have not been following the case, and also the CCTV. So I don't know, Joseph Kagai, I don't know, what is your submission? I mean, what are you making out of this whole story? And because we have seen the back and forth around that case of Albert Ojwang, back and forth.
The sad thing about this story is that now we are looking how a government does its operation to do crime.
Mm-hmm.
That is what we are looking at. How a police officers, actually, the only good thing is that this police station had CCTV.
Mm.
So as a Kenyan, I'm asking myself, how many police stations don't have CCTVs, and how many such cases go on unexplained?
Mm.
I want to pick only one thing out of it, because this is a very, very clear murder operation by the police officers. I want to pick the fact that there were two unidentified men that are seen there moving, interacting with the police officers. See, the way they create ambiguity in these cases so that you don't have the culprit. If you look at those people, you don't know who they are. Therefore, you'll assume they were just coming to visit someone at the police station because you don't see them in action. And intentionally, it is done like that so that there is no culpability. If that guy, if this station had no CCTV cameras, Ojwang will not have been known if he came to this police station and whatever happened to him. And I think the persons who decided that Central Police Station must have CCTVs, maybe it's because there was too much crime happening there, and the OCS or OSPD was not aware, because if a different unit of police officers can come to your station without your knowledge, and you are the officer commanding station. Because as the story goes, the OCS has said there were phone calls. He even refused to book Ojwang.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many conversations around that. But there were other forces that demand you must book them to that police station. And the persons coming to book Ojwang are not clear in that. For there are two men who are unidentified. Are they police officers? Or are they the goons that we saw in Olkalau? Because this is a system that is working within the police system. That all of a sudden, let me link this with what my brother was saying. Because I was actually at Olkalau, not on the voting date.
Mm-hmm.
What I saw to myself was the dispatch by the IG saying that we shall deploy 1,000 police officers. And then there is another deployment that is away from what the IG had deployed.
Mm.
The same thing is happening in this cell. There are people, there are police officers in that police station coming to book, but there are others. Those others, who are they? Why do we have another unit coming to declare terror on Kenyan people? Ojwang was a teacher, just a teacher, who was passionate about the countries and its security. What was the reason for his abduction? And he highlighted a syndicate of collecting money from public transport and how that money was following the food chain up to the top.
Mm-hmm.
The result of it, after knowing this is the person who is the money is coming to, the person sends for him. Even a police touched in demonstration because of his death, if you remember.
Yes.
When you look at this, I just feel in my mind, these are the persons who by the law are supposed to maintain law and order, protection of persons and property. Order, protection of persons and property. But now this CCTV is showing us there is another operation that is sanctioned by the same police office, police department, on people they feel is offensive to them, whether it is personal or it is corporate. Because Ojwang did not go for the police force. He went for a person engaging in corrupt practice. That person, because they have a lot of power and influence within the police, they just made phone calls, all those things. I'm wondering, how safe are Kenyans in police cells that do not have CCTV? In Kinangop, where I come from, in the same week, I think a week or later, a lady was beaten to death in a police cell. Actually, less than 2 weeks of the same time.
Yes, I remember that
remember
time.
that?
Yes.
That's why I'm saying, how many die in police cells and they are dumped at night at mortuary because people could not witness or even have a discussion about. So I'm left to wonder, how safe are Kenyans? They are not. And we see whatever is happening right now, we are more insecure than any other time in this country.
Okay. So, Oyel, I know some times back, there was a report around how we can improve the police force in our country, even including rebranding it to police service. And of course, there were so many suggested police reforms, which I know some of them included the issue of installation of CCTV and so many other things. How would you rate the police service in our country right now and what they are doing with regards to this?
Thank you very much, Tricia. Maybe before coming to rating, I think this case of Ojwang is very emotive, not only to the young people of the country, but all of us. Ojwang is from Kindu Bay, that is in Homa Bay, Nyanza.
Yes.
And for the first time in the history of our lifetime, we are seeing at least the wheels of justice are grinding. It's not that maybe they may appear slow, but at least we're catching up with the perpetrators, those who contributed into the killing of Mwalimu Albert Ojwang. To me, first, this goes to IPOA. We are not entirely going to blame the president of the country. We expect working institutions. We expect IPOA and judiciary to deliver justice to the family of Albert Ojwang. We are not going to connect the death of Albert Ojwang to Al-Kalau goons. These are two different operations. Ojwang's death is not political, as they put it. This was a matter of economical sabotage or economic terrorism that we have been having in the country in the police sector. So we can't take this emotive matter into the by-election that was just concluded. It was so unfortunate, maybe comparing this from my two brothers. Number two, the Chief Justice Emeritus Maraga moved around the country and he was entrusted to work around how we can reform our police force to police service. Actually, in the police, in paper, we have a good police working service. But in action, the police are still a force. We have seen how they've been mishandling the citizens when they are carrying out their constitutional right on demonstration and picketing. We have seen how they arrest and even escort maybe alleged, I'll say criminals. Our police service, at some point we've been asking ourselves, which kind of type of syllabus are they using? Did we go deep into reforming the Kiganjo syllabus, or we were just interested in reforming the uniforms that they're having? Did we go deep into reforming the universities that they go into, because they also have their colleges? So these are some of the reforms. I think this was not the first one. This was one just among many of the reforms that we have been having in the country. The question now comes in the implementation of the reforms that we have. But for the case of Ojwang today, we are seeing institutions working, and we are seeing IPOA putting press and pressing deep into the perpetrators. I think for the first time again, we are seeing an OCS, working OCS, or uniformed OCS being stripped off and is today in custody. and under investigation. Now to the question that I think I've put them together, on the question of the reform that we have been having around. We expect to see more action than the paperwork. In some cases, I think last time when I was here, we are having so well properly documented paper tigers around. They will scare you. They are so good. They are shelved. And maybe from our founding party leader from ODM, Patala Mulodi, we expect the institutions and not personalities and individuals to be blamed. We need to blame the institutions that have been entrusted for the safety of the country, Kenya. This need to go to the Douglas Kanja, IG, the DCI boss, Amina. We need to see the IPOA bosses moving fast for the justice of Ojwang. We have so many Ojwangs. We have so many Ojwangs that have gone through the same, maybe not just cameraed, maybe not just captured, maybe didn't have the national outcry. We have had even before the 2017, 2013, other police brutalities. This is not the first one. This is just one among many that we expect to see the rogue police officers, as my brother Wakili Nyamu was putting it, the 1% rogue police officers being held accountable. But again, this also a show that the rogue police officers, they are being told that you will carry your own cross. You will never carry a cross for your boss, as before us they have been thinking that maybe this is order from above. When the wheels of justice are crashing, coming down, we need to see these perpetrators in jail and justice served to Ojwang. In as much that we know that life may not be returned, but we need to see the justice.
I see people before you get in. I hear people of internet are saying that awamski Oyier. I don't know what's happening with his mic. But now the people of the internet, I don't know, maybe kuna wawili wanasema kwamba waski. It's even three of them. Okay. Yeah, so
okay. I wanted to bring in, I think my brother was not listening properly. I've not even touched on politics.
No, it was Wakili Nyamu, not you.
No, let me put it to perspective. I have touched on Olkalau because of the conduct of police, whether in a political environment or a social environment or whatever it is.
Yes.
And I have highlighted that Ojwang was not abducted because of any political reason. It was because he highlighted a corrupt syndicate within the police force. That is the essence by which he was captured and killed. But you look at how that operation was done. It was properly executed by the same police officers, protecting one of their own who was being implicated in that corrupt operation. So it's not about politics. Even though in this political environment, now we are even more scared. We are even more scared because I heard what Gachagua said yesterday about insecurity in our country. And then I heard the feedback by the government and also the people of the coast. It is so hurting that coastal people may lose jobs because tourists may not come. But it is even more hurting to our image if the image of Kenya is now going towards the Haiti way. We wonder, was Kenyan police going to benchmark on how to do these operations or even helping Haiti because there was not even any impact by the time they are coming back.
Patricia,
it's not a political issue. It's about a force that is trusted to protect life, persons, and property, but they are doing the opposite.
Patricia, before we go on, I also want to remind Gerard.
Yes.
Before we bring in politics, the reason as to why we are very concerned and consider some of these senior police officers as goons, like Kagai has said, this was an individual who had complained. There is no, Ojwang had not said anything about any government institution. He had specifically talked about individuals and specifically the DIG of police. That is point number one. Point number two, if you want to know these goons are abusing powers with all the impunity that one can have, can get, Ojwang was in Homa Bay. If you commit a crime in Homa Bay, the easiest thing to do, there are police officers in Homa Bay. It is to arrest you, take you to Homa Bay police station, the following day take you to court in Homa Bay. I do not understand why they were transporting him from Homa Bay all the way to Nairobi. This was a normal crime. It was not a serious crime.
Can we make it clear that because you're saying such goons, but here we are talking about police.
Yes,
people
but
who are working for the
but
government. So
wait,
let's
wait. But I'm telling Gerard to wait. You know, even police can turn to
be
goons.
goons, yeah?
Mind you, there is one thing I want to tell you. If today you found yourself having a problem from where you are, like let's say here, you call the police, the first thing they will tell you, they do not have a vehicle.
Fuel.
If the vehicle is there, they do not have fuel. However, in this case, conveniently,
Everything
a
was
vehicle
available.
was readily available. Police officers to go from Nairobi to Homa Bay and from Homa Bay to back, readily available. Fuel, full tank, to and from. Book. There was no complaint. There was no complaint about logistics and resources. So that speaks volumes about the kind of police service we have. Point number three, when he came, right now, if you are arrested and taken to let's say Langata or Kamukunji or Central Police Station, you will find a group of 50 or 100 people and you will be put together.
Yes.
For Ojwang, he was such a special state guest. So he was given his own cell alone, without anyone else.
Actually, people had to be released so fast.
Yes. So
to
that
ensure that cell,
that special guest of the
is
state,
empty, and even the noise that will come out of what they had already, it was a pre-planned murder. Pre-planned. Because you empty the entire police station so that even if there is noise, there is no evidence. Only that there were a few who had been left, and they gave an account of it. They had noise.
Lastly, you see, the explanation of the police immediately that thing happened was quite flabbergasting. When they were asked, the explanation was so casual. This person hit himself against the wall until he died. You wonder, if that is what happened, who was in that cell to know that is what he did? So it was just a cover-up. And that is why I'm saying, I do not expect justice, because you cannot be investigated by the same police that we are complaining about. They be the investigating officers, they be the prosecuting officers, and then you expect justice. So, Gerard, that is where we are coming from.
Tricia, maybe if you allow me to go in into this. Actually, as you put it, for some of us to expect justice, because I think a guy maybe will justify, or not justify, but will testify. For some time, maybe from the party I'm coming from, we have faced and seen and lived with the wounds and scars from police brutality. And we have had so many of our comrades killed, assassinated in cold blood with the previous regimes. And Ojwang's case is very special. This gentleman was killed in the police cell. The question comes in for us. Do we trust our institutions? Do we trust that IPOA can deliver justice not only to the Ojwang's family, friends, and colleagues, but to the entire nation? The IPOA as an institution, can they stand up? They are being paid by the taxpayers' money. Can they stand into the gap and account for them being in these offices? In our country, are we going to be able to trust our institutions, IPOA being one of them? Are we going to be able to trust DCI for them to deliver justice? I think Ojwang's case comes at the right time. There's a litmus test and a litmus test for them, that we can trust our institutions to deliver justice to our people. And I think, as he puts it, it is not a whole police service. It is some rogue. If DIG Lagat is accused, actually we are expecting him not to be in office. Unfortunately, he's still running in the office. These are some of the tough questions we're asking the IPOA and the DCI. We're asking them. They took this gentleman, the OCS, that is Samson Kiprotich Talam, who is being held. Yes. And James Mukwana, Peter Kimani, John Ngige, Gitau, and the rest. What about the person who is being alleged to be at the center of this operation? What are they doing? So we are entrusting and trusting them that they should move so fast to deliver justice and let the citizens of our country enter these institutions. There's a question and a point that came from my brother Kagai, that did our police officers went to Haiti to benchmark how goons operate, or police officers can camouflage into goonship? I think this is a matter of concern to us, because when they went to Haiti,
they came
They came back differently. To a point that they could hire civilians. We don't know whether the guys who went to the two guys went to the cell to assassinate Ojwang were civilians or police officers. That's one question.
Yes.
Another question for the first time, there's a time that when Dr. Samuel Ruto came into power, he said that he was going to disband the special forces. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we are seeing another one that we can't explain who they are. And at some point this year, he said, the DCI boss, that we have police officers who are not designated to specific uniforms. The question is, can we be able to at least have their name tags or service number on their casual search so that we can know that this is an uniformed police officer, this is an intelligent officer, and this the role is playing. A point that they are moving around balaclavas and marked cars scares the nation. I think this is a call to our not only the state power, but the police high-ranking individuals, leadership, to step up in all quarters and all the department in the police service for us to entrust the police service. It doesn't need to be a force. The same police officers, the way they were treating our forefathers who were fighting for the Mau Mau. The same police officers, the way they were treating our political fathers who fought for the multi-parties. They can't treat us the same way today in this dispensation. Many things have changed. They must remember that we are brothers. They must remember that we are cousins. We are sisters, and some of them are also maybe our spouses. So as you treat me, see that you mean towards me. We are no longer. I think this is the question now. The syllabus these people are using was it also
still colonial?
Formed? That's the question. Because after the Kiganjo, these people, we know them. We live with them. You have cousins, your brothers, your friends who do this for the service. But when they graduate, when they pass out, they come out different. I think
but my brother, I think even it's not a matter of even the syllabus they've gone through. It's not a matter of even okay, that also being considered. There's this issue of what these people did. They did it under some instruction. Yep. It was not from their own wish. Like we want to go for Ojwang, we want to come and murder him. According to the witnesses that we've had, and according to the CCTV camera, you can just tell that this is not the police officers who went for them. I don't think they are the ones who did what we are talking about.
Okay. Tricia, if you can remember in the 10-point agenda, I think that's the last signature, Raila Amolo Odinga. The addressing police brutality is one of the key things in that 10-point agenda. And I think it's so unfortunate that it's one of the documents that at some point you feel maybe the president or the leadership has been slow in implementing it. And the individuals who went for Albert Ojwang when they took him in Kingdom, when the dad was explaining how they took him for more, they identified themselves first as police. And then they took him into the car. I think they were DCIs in that case. But the question that even Wakili Nyamu is asking, in Homa Bay, as a county as a whole, how many police cells did they pass from Homa Bay to Nairobi? So we expect not only in now the reforms that we have had, but even in the latest Raila Amolo Odinga's signature in the 10-point agenda, for them to have the police brutality addressed in them.
Is that what your party leader who has gone to broad base, is that what he's pushing for?
The party that we have currently found this document.
The only thing.
Just allow him. Yes.
The party leader, the party that we have currently, Dr. Oginga Odinga, came into office when this document was alive, and I think is still pushing for the full implementation of the 10-point agenda. This is a live document. It hasn't been discarded. This is one of the documents that we are also having on the table in our negotiating process.
The only unfortunate thing about that document, it had an expiry date, which was 7th day, March 2020. So it expired. So whatever they are still doing, they're excited to suscitate.
But again, sometimes I usually feel like there was a failure by the people who are documenting that, who are putting it down, because some of these things that are in that document, they're not things that you say you will achieve them in just a one-off. It's something that is continuous.
No. Yes. The problem is not that. You see, the political goodwill, even to show that you are working on those short-term. It had short-term,
yes,
it
and
had
long-term.
Long-term.
Yes.
You see, he's telling you that I can concur with his statement about the 10-point agenda
Yes.
and the brutalities. Because since 2023, when we were on the street with Raila Odinga, we experienced serious wrath from the government. It now graduated to when the Gen Zs decided enough is enough, we are going as young people to the street. It graduated. By the time the document is being written, it had short-term and it had long-term. Zero goodwill or implementation. Zero. Now, away from that, let me say this to Kenyans. A police officer is supposed to be guided by the law, not their emotions, not on friendship, not on colleague cover-up. Because the case of Ojwang, it's a colleague cover-up mission. Because this guy is raising serious matters that are very, very true. He must be silenced. The current regime has gone, you see, every regime has their own shortfalls when it comes to security matters. But now they start saying this regime has gone full-blown on doing whatever they want with impunity, and they don't care. There is no even iota of shame on even trying to do it somewhere else. They have to do it in a police cell. Because they think this is our safe area, it's our region, it's our base. So whatever we do inside here, nobody will know. Thank God it had CCTVs, now we have this conversation. But what this regime has shown, that's what I'm using, even Ol Kalou, I'm using during the Gen Z movement, all those incidences, we saw police officers coming for battle, yearning for blood from innocent people. You see, last year, the anniversary for last year, for the Gen Zs, a young man selling mask. He saw, today we are on the street, tear gas will be thrown, you need a mask. He was selling a mask, shot, point blank, close range, by an officer who had power to restrain that young man without any weapon.
Yes.
Wangemshika tu na wamkalie na wamfunge pingo mweko lori. He decided to fire and kill that young man. They are so bold in showing us, this regime, we don't care. We don't like you, we take you out. That is what they are telling us. Going to a political environment on an election day, terrorizing voters for no reason. That is what this regime is showing us. They can come, do whatever they want.
As you come in, let's now combine this one with the issue of security that we also touched on, and the issue of goons in general. So the other day, during the Ol Kalou, we had and we saw a lot of things happening there. It's something that has been in discussion all over across many platforms right now, and we saw those goons. We saw. Is it goons? Will I call them goons?
Goons, militia.
Let's call them militia because I think up to date, the CS Interior has not confirmed that these were police officers.
It's a police militia.
They said that they are going to investigate, and of course we cannot conclude and call them goons again. I think, we cannot call them goons again. So this is something that has been happening, and we saw what happened. Again, we also heard what your party leader, Rigathi Gachagua, said, calling on the international, tourists and investors not to come to our country because of the issue of insecurity. And for the first time, I think, we've had the president today, the 21st of July, 2026. So the president directed Kenya's security agencies to intensify the crackdown on goons, criminal gangs, and individuals sponsoring political violence, while emphasizing that the operation must be carried out within the law. So he made those remarks while at State House today.
Thank you.
So I just want to hear from you, because you people, you've been saying that the president doesn't care.
Thank you very much. I want to abandon the issue of Ojwang because I will become emotional if I continue with that story of Ojwang. Now, I want to talk a bit about the 10-point agenda. And I want to confirm to you, there is nothing that is called the 10 points agenda. It's nonsense on stilts. You know, Baba was a political master. Whenever Baba knew his supporters were disappointed, he had a way of giving them hope even when there was no hope. And when he was joining government, he had to look for a way to pretend that he's catering for a certain interest so that he can join government. And that is how the 10-point agenda was created. However, moving forward, I've had you even remember when Baba disappointed his supporters sometime, he started telling them we were going to Canaan, then we found crocodiles. We did not reach there, but we will still go through Singapore. You know, Baba had serious narratives. And unfortunately or fortunately, his supporters were buying those narratives. Now, coming to the current party leader, I've heard my friend Gerard talk about party leader, Oburu Odinga, who is also their youth leader, saying that he is on top of things as far as implementation of the 10-point agenda.
Yes,
one of the things that was in that 10-point agenda was restoration of democracy and promotion of democracy. Mind you, last week, Oburu was on record saying he feels like Kenya is too democratic, and he was advising the president he should actually be a bit dictatorial so that things can move. So that is the kind of a person we are dealing with, compared to the ideals of the first party leader of ODM, which is quite contradictory. Now, moving forward to goons, I want to confirm to you that those were police militia given state resources to terrorize the same people they were supposed to protect. Why? Number one, if they were police officers, why were they not in police uniform? If you want to maintain law and order, what is the problem with having a police uniform? Number two, if they were police officers, why were they wearing masks? If you're in the process of maintaining law and order, you don't need to cover your... Actually, some of them, you could not even see their faces. They were totally covered. Why were they covering their faces? Number three, why were they in civilian clothes? Why were they in civilian clothes? How are they supposed to be differentiated? Suppose Kagai went to Olkalau as a civilian, and then we have a police officer who is in civilian clothes. How are we supposed to differentiate between police officers and those and civilians? Number four or number five, they were shooting aimlessly. If you saw that clip, one of them was just shooting on air for no reason. There was no disorder. People were queuing. Actually, one brave lady told them, if you want to shoot us, you can shoot us. There's no problem. But there's nothing wrong that we are doing. We are just queuing, waiting to vote. Another thing, they were wielding very long guns. You see, for me, if you come here, if you come here yielding very big guns, you can't convince me that you are providing security. To me, I will view you actually as a source of insecurity. So, if they were police officers, those circumstances can tell you they were out for no good. Now, suppose they were not police officers. Then again, the only person that you can blame if they are not police officers is the police. Why? It is the responsibility of the police to ensure that if there are criminals roaming around, you arrest them very quickly. One, they had deployed over 2,000 police officers. So in terms of capacity, they had even deployed water cannons just to ensure that they instill fear. So
really
meaning, if it was capacity in Olkalau that day, there was enough capacity. Actually, it was excess to maintain law and order. So tell me, if Kipchumba is telling us that he's not sure whether there were police officers, there were roadblocks all over Olkalau. I was in Olkalau that day. First, how did they pass those roadblocks? With 3 vehicles, armed with very long guns, covering their faces. How did they pass those police roadblocks? Number two, they were moving from one polling center to another polling center. How did they access the polling centers when every polling center was manned by police officers with guns and uniforms? So it means they had gotten proper briefing, proper instructions. There will be goons there will be police goons roaming around. If you see them, please give them way and don't do anything. And there can be no other explanation. Otherwise, before I finish, sometimes William Ruto is the problem and sometimes he's not the problem. On security matters, he gave someone the role of the cabinet secretary.
Yes.
Someone who is totally clueless. Someone who is so excited about small things like expensive watches, expensive belts. clubbing with the best and most expensive alcohol. So he does not appreciate how security operates. I was surprised when I heard him say that there was no insecurity in Olkalau on that day. How do you as a minister say there was no insecurity in Olkalau when 2 people are dead? You cannot say there was security when deaths occurred. And I was in Olkalau for like 2 weeks. No one had died because of guns or violence for those 2 weeks. People died on that day and they were not killed by civilian goons. They were killed by police goons. So it is a serious challenge, and President William Ruto is no longer in control.
Let me say this. When you look at Olkalau, I had decided to call them militia because they are a militia is a person who is properly aided. Properly aided by powers that send them. And when you look at Olkalau, there are a few things I want you to look at. From the media station that have actually gone to actually do the investigative journalism in this matter, the same group is seen distributing money in UDA events. And then in the same day, they are seen going back to their car and they are seen changing and wearing those hoods, the balaclavas on their head. The same people carrying money to bribe voters, they go back to their Prados and small cars, and then they go terrorizing people. The day the DCP truck was actually touched, they were in an event. They were the one actually in charge of distribution of money. You can see them. One is giving, one is surveillance. Everybody was very, very active in that activity. By the time they are doing it, they hear a truck for DCP. And then they quickly go to the car. You can see them changing and wearing combative gear. They go and start chasing that car. What happens at the end of it? Terrorizing the people in that truck, touching it and running away. If they are not police officers, they are then government militia. Because how do you carry money to a government campaign where the pipes are maji ziko hapo, boards are, everything that the government was doing in Olkalau, this unit was always there. They could move from one event to another. And the sad thing about that day, let me surprise you. A friend of mine, I had told him, don't go. It will be bad. I told him, actually he's watching. But he told me, I've just been called. This friend of ours, who is also my friend, Mora John, she requires a driver and she cannot trust any other driver. The car, the white Prado that you saw on TV, I was in that Prado the previous day when I was coming from Nyahururu. So when they were going there, he is just a good driver that he oversped, akawaondokea, akawaacha. He had a small window to alight and tell the people in that car, shukeni haraka haraka. If you look at the anger that those guys came to that car, breaking the windows, it was anger for no reason because he's a driver, he was not carrying any mheshimiwa. They were just there. So this is a militia that is properly aided by government with money, with guns, and everything. They can go through any checks. They are attached to these waheshimiwas, so they feel so superior above anyone. Even a police officer cannot question them. They operate above the normal police command. What he mentions about the CS interior, one is left to wonder, what is the priority? Big talks or convincing Kenyans that you are actually doing your job? Because when Murkomen comes on TV, first of all is to rubbish every concern Kenyans have, then apportion blame to extreme west when the event was in the east, and then rubbish everything and say the government, the police are investigating. What are you investigating? The clips are there, the evidence is so there, but because it is your people, you have to do this PR stunt and then go, because you are a PR guy. What will bring Ruto down, because definitely he's going down in the next 1 year, down in terms of home and collapse of his regime, it is only because he did not understand how important his cabinet is to his governance. Big ideas, wrong cabinet, wrong people. embolden the police officer to do whatever it is that you want to do. So even when they have excesses, you can't question them. That is the downfall of President William Ruto.
Tricia.
Yes, please, go on.
I've heard. And there's one thing that is very emotive as well, my brother Kagai touched before Wakili Nyamu came in, about 2023 brutality that we faced. We remember Nyamu's party leader who was waking up at very early in the morning at 5 just to deal with the Azimio mass protest. Let me finish. Let me talk.
I'm not interjecting. Somebody have told me to correct Wakili. Those are security guy. Correct Wakili Mwambie, those long guns, zinaitwa short guns, used for close quarter battles. Those were the guns used during the Westgate attack.
Okay.
Point
So
taken.
now you can connect all those. Now continue.
Okay, thank you. Now you have distorted me.
Don't worry. You are broad. You should be broad in your thinking.
Now, when you talked about 2023 finance bill protest, not finance bill, but it was same finance bill, but it was the Sufuria protest.
The Sufuria movement.
The Sufuria movement.
Yes.
The gentleman who was in charge and promised the country that will take Raila Amolo Odinga home and his people was the DCP party leader, who used to wake up at 5 to be at Arambe House to deal with us. Including him, he was also dealt with at that point.
I was dealt with, but
You were dealt with properly by his party leader, the former DP. We must also remember, from 2012 to 2022, during the Jubilee reign, we had so many police brutalities around, including the young lady, Baby Pendo. These are very emotive to us. We are not going to deal with these ones in isolation. During the IPOA investigation and delivering justice, we must open these books and bring all these people to book, including his party leader, who said openly in the state media that will deal with us, and we saw him. We're not going to forget where we have come from. If this didn't start with the Gen Z protest, that at some point they have always invoked it unnecessarily, for some point, to a point that we feel to I don't know how I can put it, to induce what we call, the term is going, in the young people, maybe against their own government, that they voted in. You voted this government in, not Kagai. Kagai was with us in Azimio. Today they are the same people again, crying loudest more than we who have suffered on their hands. Tricia, these matters are very imminent to us, from the party I'm coming from, and to be very specific at some point, from the region I'm coming from. So if you're going to talk about police brutality, it starts way long. It didn't start with 2024 finance bill protest. It started with 2023, it came to 2012 to 2022. But we'll stand tall and still speak justice to whoever in the office. Be it if it were to be Baba today, we tell Mzee, NE is not going right. Today in the government of Dr. William Samoei Ruto, in the police service, we have the few rogues that must be corrected and must be held accountable. We're not going to blame it entirely that it just started in 2024. We must get it right. There's also this term, this one is very important. To Wakili Nyamu, you can trash the 10-point agenda and again at the same point you say that it needs to be implemented. It was not a strategy. Raila Amolo Odinga had always put Kenya forward. Raila Amolo Odinga have held the nation Kenya above everything, above him himself and even the party that he formed, the ODM party. It was not to hoodwink the ODMers and his followers. This thing, I think, came at the best time, at the right time, when the country was slipping off from its democratic grills. The power was going back to the masses on the street. We couldn't afford to go the Somalia way for the sake of power. This country is important, can accommodate all of us. That's who, and that's what Raila, I think, taught us, and we believe in it. Kenya becomes first before any other thing. We can't put Kenya second just because we want to gain the state political power. It will be so unfortunate for us as a country and as a nation. The 10-point agenda from number 1 to number 10, it was very clear on how we can have a Kenya that is inclusive of everybody, it was this term that Rigiji used to use. What is it? Nasahau imeenda ikikuja nitakwambia. So this nation is big enough, it can accommodate all of us peacefully. Number 3 nikimalizia, we must remember that every government that comes in serves all its citizenry, including even those who didn't vote for them. We expect Dr. William Samoei Ruto to deliver service even to Azimio supporters who never voted for him, including him, Kagai, who never voted for him, and me, who never voted for him. Okay. That's one thing. Nikimalizia sasa na waachia. We should never forget again on the matter of goons.
I don't know whether we change your mic because I see people are still complaining. I don't know what's happening. We can have him on the fire.
Yes. I don't know why they want to jump me. So let me start by saying I've heard Gerard say that extrajudicial killings did not start with William Ruto. I agree. I agree. Extrajudicial killings did not start with William Ruto. True. But 2 wrongs don't make a right. Just because people were killed last year cannot be the justification why they should be killed this year. So if they were killed in 2024, 2023, 2020, it was wrong then, it is wrong now. And we should learn from those deaths. So stop justifying William Ruto killing our young people simply because in the other regimes they were killed. There can never be a justification, even losing one life. One life is too much. Number 2, I wanted to tell him, he is saying that our party has been wailing, I think unnecessarily, more than is required about the death of Gen Zs who died in 2024. Those ones are our brothers and sisters. Those ones are our mothers and fathers. Those ones are our sons and daughters. We will mourn them until as long as we can remember and as long as we are alive. You know, losing over 100 lives is no joke. So you don't expect us to forget and move on. We will never forget. Moving on is also very difficult. So please allow us to mourn our brothers and sisters and the way we want. So I'm still on my feet. We will get back to you. You had 1 point remaining. We will get back to you. I can still remember it was about goons. You will get an opportunity to answer. Yes. So if you don't feel like you want to mourn the Gen Zs who were killed by William Ruto during the finance bill protests, please allow us to mourn because we still feel like we have not healed. Number 3, you said we elected William Ruto and we are the ones who are complaining the loudest. I agree, because he came with Bibles and deceived us. And for that mistake, we acknowledge it is our own mistake. And that is why if you look at Mount Kenya, where I come from, we are at the forefront, leading the one-term movement because we know we are the people who brought this country where it is. So please allow us, give us time. Next year, we will correct that mistake. But before I end that point, remember, William Ruto deceived even ordained bishops. People who have had the benefit of having that, what do we call it? That mafuta poured on them. Anointing oil poured on them. You know me, Gerard and Joseph Kagai, we do not have the benefit of the anointed oil. So can you imagine? He deceived even archbishops. So we should be forgiven and excused if bishops and archbishops were deceived. Lastly, I heard Gerard say that our party leader, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, used to wake up at 5 to go to the office to deal with them because they were protesting.
And he deal with that.
Perhaps he does not understand the responsibility of security is with the president. From the president, it is the Minister of Security, the PS, the IG of police, like that. The deputy president has no role to play as far as security orders are concerned. Mind you, Rigathi Gachagua is a very hardworking man. He's a man full of energy. He was not going to office at 5 simply to organize on how to beat people. Wait, I'm finishing. Only 1 minute. He was going to the office to organize his whole day's work, and that is when he was going.
That whole day's work was serious.
And if you want to know, and if you want to know, he's a man full of energy. Even now, when he's not in government, he can do 5, 6, 7 rallies in a day. Sometimes aspirants like us who want to be members of parliament, governors, senators, reach a point and tell him, please, let's reach there. And he says, let's work. We have to work hard. So he's a very hardworking man and a man full of energy.
No, before you come in, just allow me this.
Yes.
You know, I'm laughing because
You're dealt with.
now my presidential candidate, the sixth, Edwin Sifuna, said it when we were in Kisii. We don't forget, but we can forgive.
Yes.
Because the former deputy president, the first deputy president, dealt with us sacafoniously. We could see the meetings with security heads in his office just before the tear gas was coming. And for DJ Spider to play that Unininyuzie Maji in Pipeline Quarry, we were dying there. But we can forgo all that once we understand it's about the people and for the people. That is why now we want this change. Let me talk something about the 10-point agenda that you had mentioned. That was what I want to come in. You see, His Excellency, now he's no longer SG, it is His Excellency Edwin Sifuna. He is the one who wrote that document. Gerald, the document that now you're talking about, it was done by Edwin Sifuna in his office. And he's the one who actually said, it has an expiry date. If they don't show or actually demonstrate they are working on it by 7th of March, 2026, according to Baba, then that document was to be considered a failed project. Whatever they are resuscitating to find a reason to stay in this government is not the 10-point agenda. They are being managed or managing themselves in there for them to get whatever they are getting. Nevertheless, the reason Linda Mwananchi is becoming what it is becoming, it is because we are carrying on with what Raila was pushing for. The people in ODM broad-based Linda Tumbo side, they are actually there because of managing Nyanza politics. But what Baba wanted to see this government do, it is what Linda Mwananchi is all about. It is why we have embraced everyone in the one-term movement because we want the same thing. We have actually not forgotten, we have decided to put our pain, our interest first aside and look at this. The problem is not Gachagua, Kalonzo, Matiang'i. Those are not the problem. The problem is a person in charge of a government that has zero interest of its citizen. When you talk about security, this is the only organ in the constitution that the president is the chair. The Security Council. It has everybody in it. You have DCI there. You have NIS there. You have military there. You have IG there. You have everyone there. But until they understand the best interest of the people, what that statement means, we'll continue having this police militia. I was in Nyahururu the other weekend, not this one, the other weekend, for Linda Mwananchi. Everything was so good, but when they realized they cannot incite young people of Nyahururu to destabilize the Linda Mwananchi movement, we saw young people from Nakuru, young people from all the way from Nairobi, pay to come and destabilize us. In fact, they were so few that we overpowered them. But unfortunately, the police officers started firing. It created tension. The meeting ended abruptly because the goons were there throwing thrown. All of a sudden, gunshots, tear gas. Why? Because they realized we cannot allow this meeting to continue. Why is this government scared of people assembling, meeting, and discussing about the future of the country? And my brother, please, I know you properly. You don't belong in that Linda-Tumbo. You belong to this side of the Why? Okay. Because even as you're debating here and you are talking about it, you feel the pain of the people and you see the betrayal by your party right now on pushing for the 10-point agenda. So please, don't even struggle to
allow Gerard to talk. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Let me start from where I left.
I hope people of the internet, I hope now
they can
his
hear
mic
me.
is okay, yeah?
Maybe we'll see from their response. Thank you very much, Tricia. I left at goons. And the goons were not going to blame it entirely on the government. This lies squarely with all our political players. From our MPs, from our MCAs, governors, senators, you'll find all politicians walking around with people around them. They call them security and supporters. These are the people who have brooded them to be goons around them. I think this is a call-up call to all our political leaders. Wanasiasa wetu wote, they must blame them. They're the people brooding these people in terms of giving security. We must also not remember that this they have done deliberately. They have not empowered young people intentionally to make them their political slaves, walk around with them, which is so unfortunate. This thing, yagunship, we must also remember that it is not government may at some point running it. Even the individuals in opposition, there are those we know their tricks and plays around. They sponsor their own beating and blame it on an opponent. This had happened before, and we know it. And Kagai know, Wakili Nyamu know, that you'll find a politician who will trickily behave and hire people to beat them or abduct themselves, then disappear, then reappear, and then cry foul. So this entirely goes to our political class. All of them, be it in united opposition, alternative government, or the ones running the government today. From our position, young people of this country, we call them upon. Empower these young people, give them meaningful jobs to do, to stop them from surviving on handouts and live with dignity like their kids, like their relatives. Upon that, you use human shield to shield your own ambitions unnecessarily. That's someone's dad, that's someone's spouse, that's someone's kid. So we call our political class. We must also remember that at some point we ask ourselves, did we devolve the goonship? If you go to each county, you'll find they have a group of those who protect the governance in that area. So instead of them providing job opportunities, industrializing our economy, they have decided to take young people, a graduate maybe, who is jobless, having a family and must survive, is now put in the forefront to be a human shield for a leader necessarily. And this again comes along when they heckle, at some point we say that the crowds for hire, which to me, and I think to the league I'm coming from, we are trying to restructure how we are going to engage the audiences during our political campaigns and rallies. It's unfortunate that we'll find young people, when maybe we had the Olkalau case, coming out on a Wednesday, on a Thursday or Monday to a rally. When are they going to be meaningfully meaningful contributors in our economy? So these are some of the tough questions. This thing later evolves not only in the security, but on our economical status as a nation. There's something that my brother said about mourning the Gen Zs. I was on the street. He was on the street. I didn't see you, unfortunately. Kagai was on the street. I met him when he was having the paste on his face. The people who were killed, some of them are colleagues we know by name.
Let
me finish.
You know, Gerard speaks like he saw everyone who was on the streets.
No, I'm giving an example. Let's see everybody. The thing is, we are not going to maybe personalize the Gen Z protest to some quarter. All of us as a generation, we were all on the street. And we call for justice for our comrades who were brutally killed by the police, rogue police officers who are in the police service. We must also remember that the Gen Zs came out, and unfortunately some of them, I think just the other day, one of our dependable comrades came out that she was on the street, but didn't even read the finance bill. Some of them just turned out. It comes back to how do we engage and disseminate and give the information, both from our governance apparatus and even our political class as well. To 10-point agenda, yes. As my brother I think has quoted that it was a Sifuna thing. My brother and comrade Kagai. Not a Sifuna thing, it was the writer. He didn't write it solely. That document was written alongside. Bro, when you are talking, I'm a good turn-taking comrade. I listen to you, then I reply. Thank you. When they were in SG's office at KICC, the former SG confessed, who is still an ODM member, it's only that he's not an SG, says... He's a HE now. No, he was a former SG and a senator in Nairobi. He says that they wrote that thing with our founding Secretary General, that is Prof. Anyang' Nyong'o. So it was not entirely on him that you say that is the one who typed. This thing was instructed on by the party leader and the party onchos and the party top organ, the party that is the Central Management Committee of ODM party. So we can't take this and entirely put it on his shoulder because he was our SG then. He was entrusted. That is his position that he ought to have done that at that point. So it is okay. We must live into the reality that the 10-point agenda is a living document that may be going to be fulfilled in such a short period.
Who told you?
Okay. Raila Odinga.
Okay. So, let's just cross over to something else. Yeah, because now we are hoping and we are seeing what the president, if the president has spoken and said that he's gonna fight, and actually people were asking why the turnaround.
But let me ask. The same
why the about turn? Yes.
The same president who lied to the Gen Z and Kenyans at large that he has brought down the finance bill in 2024 only to bring it again with funny amendments in the constitution. He will say this on camera, but behind the scenes he does the complete opposite. That's why he's called a liar. Because he will lie to you in the face. Can you imagine? When did Kenyans start complaining about these schools? About these militias? The statement has always been the same. I have instructed. I have directed. My government is on top of these things. Which things? Doing the opposite. That is the problem with him. Do anybody nowadays take William Ruto serious?
We do. He's the head of state.
Oh my God.
Oh my.
He's just the head of state
he's
by
head of
law,
state.
but what he says.
Power boards no vacuum.
No, I'm saying what he says.
What he says, Tricia.
Therefore, I don't take him serious.
Tricia. In the
I have seen, by the way, today he has changed the chairperson of IPOA. Why?
In the presidential.
So then IPOA complained.
In the,
why he's not able to push cases in court.
In the presidential instruction and turnaround, as you put it, we expect the wheels of justice to move so fast.
Where?
Let us give him a chance.
Oh, young man.
Please, let us give him a chance.
I mean, Gerard,
yes.
I want to beseech you to stop misusing that phrase, the wheels of justice grind so slow. You know why? For William Ruto, it's not about justice. When it comes to justice, mostly it's about police and the judiciary. I give you an example. When William Ruto tells us that in 3 months' time, or actually it's a constant in 6 months' time, the gas that you buy at 2,500 will be going for 300 or 500 shillings. What justice do you need there? It is a matter of implementation which is not there. When he stands up and tells up that yes, it only appeared in all, and it has disappeared after the by-election. When when the president stands and tells us in 6 months' time there will be 7 or 6 stadiums complete, and there are no stadiums complete, which justice is required there? You know, the problem with a president is that he gives unrealistic promises just to please us on the face, and then when time comes, and you know, Kenya with digital era, it's very difficult to forget, because today, if you tell me in 6 months' time, I know today is which date? Today is
on
21st of July.
Yes.
It's just a matter of putting my nini there, and December, and then after the 6 months, a reminder will come on my phone. So it is very difficult. So the president keeps lying. You know, when he was coming to power, he was telling us the other regime, which he was forgetting he was still a principal in that regime. Because when you are the deputy president of a government, you are not a simple person. You are not a small person. He was forgetting that he was a person, he was a member of that government, and telling us, when I form government, I will not borrow as this government has borrowed. I'm telling you, from the time he came to power, he has borrowed almost double what was borrowed in 10 years. So I'm telling you, my friend, William Ruto is a pathological liar. I have heard our host tell us that she has promised university education will be free. In which month?
In September.
In September.
So
you know September is 2. Actually 2.
Do you know, by the people of Narok, on March 29, they were going to see the launch and the commissioning of the international airport.
Yes.
Which actually was never even started.
I remember, I want to tell you another lie that the president used. He went to Kajiado and told the county government of Kajiado, I want to hand over this park to the county government of Narok in 3 months' time. It has been years. They're even threatening him because they are tired. So everything Ruto says must be taken with a pinch of salt. Otherwise, you will be disappointed.
Not a pinch.
The good thing with us in the opposition, we are now used to his lies. We don't believe anything he says. So we have no expectations. We have no expectations.
Yes,
you see,
respond shortly so that now we can move on to briefly. We move on to something else.
No, I'm not responding. I mean,
are you trying to say Ruto is not a liar?
I want to say a thing.
Are you trying to say Ruto is not a liar?
No.
Okay. Let us hear what has.
Sitetei uongo. Yes. But we must also there's something you have talked about on the not the 6 months time and 3 months time. Actually,
I don't know it's true. It's a lie.
No, that's not a lie. That's true. We expect the implementation. We expect these things to work. We are here and we are trying to push them. What I wanted to say here is, I think I remember my brother saying, I don't know, Linda Mwananchi, Linda Ground, Linda Tumbo, Linda what? ODM as a party is not having the Lindas. The Lindas which were there were all scrambled down. And we told them from the party position. In ODM, we are ready. Tuko tayari. We are not.
Linda Mwananchi. Linda Tumbo is dying because the Tumbo is.
When they were talking, I was silent. Protect me.
Yeah. Please allow him to.
Please do.
I think it is very important for me to respond to this.
Please.
ODM as a party is one. And my brother, I've never been a member of ODM party. I don't know where I get the guts to maybe talk or speak on behalf of the party. He was a member.
Party leader, my president.
Exactly as on Azimio ticket. But you are not a member. You are not a member of the party. We agree.
Friend of your party.
You are a friend of the party.
Yes.
So let the party members, let ODM matters to be handled by the ODMers.
We actually left.
That is one. We must also agree the former SG, as you quote him now, as you say, His Excellency, Misawa, is still a member of the ODM party. If they have the guts, they have the balls, and they are able and capable, let them resign and leave the ODM party then. Because from our party position, we haven't focused anybody. We believe that party is being can accommodate all of us. If not entrusted with the party position, doesn't mean that now we hate you. He's still an ODM member and a Nairobi senator under the ODM party ticket. Until then, we will know his position. But today we regard him as a member of the party. So when you say you talk about Linda Mwananchi, that we don't know the tail and the head. It was a movement that was formed to counter the Linda Ground. It is okay.
And it succeeded.
It didn't succeed. ODM is tuko tayari. So let the ODM matters, ODM things to be addressed and be handled by the party members, the ODMers. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. Okay. I think that is fair enough. So let's move on to Rigathi Gachagua. He made some statement today, so the producer can play us that clip.
His Excellency Gachagua, DCP party leader, the second deputy president,
yes,
and the 6th president of the Republic of Kenya.
Kama mlisoma alimuita kwaka and something else, akasema this is unexpendable, he is of no value. Nimepata habari vile walikuwa wananikosea heshima hao wa Kalenjin, wameanza kumtesa huyo Kindiki hapo, kumkosea heshima. So we professor, you are our son. I want to tell you because you are our son. Ukipata shinda hapo mbele, because utapata. Welcome back home. Zindio? Huyu mtu mfupi amepangiwa na Kasongo. Sahi, they don't see him like anybody. And I've sent word to him. Nimetuma mtu rafiki yake, nimemwambia be careful. When Ruto decided he cannot work with me, he sent people to poison me in Kisumu. When it did not work, he sent people to poison me here. I was very careful. I used to go to State House. He would pick the first plate. I'm supposed to pick the second one. Mimi nachukua ya 7 ama ya 8.
Saa ile walinishindwa kunimaliza, ndio akafanya impeachment. He didn't want to go to the impeachment way. They would have been happier to eliminate me. The way I can see watu ya ODM wanaongea wakitaka hii kiti ya running mate, vile mimi naona watu ya Western wanaongea wakitumia hii maneno ya Olkalau. I have sent watu wa son Professor Kithure Kindiki to be careful. Hii maneno ya mandege, be careful. Be careful. Hii maneno ya chakula, be careful. Because at the end of it all, he is still our son. Si mtoto wetu. Na mimi ndio nataka kuomba vile wameanza kumulima na nimeona wanampangia. For now, ndio kama atakuja nyumbani asikuwe uncomfortable. Sasa tungangane na Kasongo. We direct all our fire against Kasongo. Hii Kindiki for now tuachane na yeye. We leave him alone. Let him be. Akipata shida, akija nyumbani tutamkaribisha. Mungu akimsaidia akae huko ni sawa. But for now, let us focus on William Ruto na watu yake akina Murkomen. Makobora yote yetu ielekeshwe William Ruto na nani? Na Murkomen. Hii Kindiki for now tuachane na yeye. Yeah? Wale wasaliti hao muendelee na hawa. Hawa nimesikia Senator John Medhu akiongea Kameme leo. Amenifurahisha sana. Senator, you have made my day today. Amesema hii watu yote wasaliti ya Kasongo, ile gari ya Kasongo wawekwe ndani na ile mlango ichomelewe na ile gas leader. Ndio wasitoke. So kuna wale wameenda beyond. The real enemies of our community. Kimani Ichung'wa, Mwangi Kiunjuri, Betty Maina, Wamombi, hiyo watu. Yeah? No, Kuria we have already said is an outcast in the community. Mambo yake tumemaliza. But
today, even during the event that was at State House, people are saying that even from the body language of the Deputy President not Rigathi Gachagua, sorry, Kindiki, Professor Abraham. So they are saying that from the body language they can feel that there's something that is not right with Professor. And of course, after the by-elections in Olkalau, whereby DCP won in just a landslide win, that is in DCP with 30-something against only 5. And after that, people are saying that they are expecting that there will be some realignments in terms of some people will be shifting from political parties to joining others, and especially DCP, especially for the leaders from Mount Kenya. And listening to what Rigathi Gachagua is saying, there is something that is it, okay, can we conclude that there is something that is cooking, or should we say that this is just a language that the former Deputy President is using to try to bring back the eastern part of the Mount Kenya?
Before I allow my brother, because he's a director at DCP, my observation, and for you to understand the reason why we are saying one term so loudly, it's not because we hate Ruto, it's because we know him. I have studied President Ruto's politics for a long time, and I have also studied his character for a long time. People don't actually understand his character. They only talk about his politics. We are having a president who is very, very vindictive. Once you cross him, he doesn't forgive. Once you disappoint him, he doesn't forget. He will smile with you while planning your exit, and you will not even know about it. Even Gachagua has said it so many times. He said that there were meetings being discussed there, but once he goes to ask, hey, you are discussing and you had said you cannot do this, and say, no, those are politics. Those are regional politics. Toleapa. What is going around in the current Deputy President's political life now, it is evaluation. He knows his boss properly. When you talk about his body language, he can feel it in his bones. I have no space here. Why? He knows his boss properly. And it started by him being demeaned on the first day of his swearing in, when he was called Abrake. What is Abrake? That is the day a signal came to my mind. This man does not regard this professor of law with anything of status. I can tell you today, all the events that this guy, let me not call him guy, let me give him the respect of the deputy president. Most of the events he's going, they are planned, finances are planned elsewhere, finances are carried elsewhere. He's just there to appear. Some things cannot be said until now it is becoming so obvious. For Gachagua to even say now we stop fighting or targeting our arsenal to him, because he knows if he doesn't come to Kindiki's rescue, he will be left without a political career after this government. And he'd rather retire as a gentleman than be allowed to go through so much pain. I can tell you for a fact, after the Ol Kalou by-election, this president does not regard any Mount Kenya leader in government right now with any respect.
Okay.
All the money he gave them, 1.5 billion, all the project, and you only deliver 5,000? Why are you here? It means that Gachagua is right. He's in charge of the mountain. So what value are you adding to me? If you had actually Sudi's interview, he said, the president, you need to know and believe the mountain is gone. Let us go and court another community. What is he telling? Even your deputy is useless. That is the statement. And this government has people, they smile with you while planning your exit.
People are saying that if there are people who are so happy with the win of DCP in Ol Kalou, is the Luo people, the Nyanza Luo people. Of
course.
Because they are saying that this is where they are seeing an opportunity to
where
get
there is
into...
there will be
to
voltage.
I think Kagai is out of
Yes,
context.
please, yeah.
Can you control Kagai?
Kagai, please allow him to respond to this.
Let us the question. You are distracting me.
I just said a proverb, where there is carcass, there is always vultures.
Are you the one? Are you the one who is starting, Gerard, or it's me?
No,
you
it's
finish.
Gerard.
Okay.
No, it should be here.
No, it should be here.
Gerard,
Now.
yeah. So Gerard, yeah, they are saying that if there are people who are so happy, it's the Luo Nyanza people, because this is the opportunity. But again, also we are also seeing something else. We are seeing a different card also being played with the Western, the Western people. So I don't. Is it true? You people, are you happy about what happened?
At first, Tricia, where we are from political party that is not regionalized. We are not for a community. It's a national outfit. A movement that has its roots from northeastern to coastal. It is there in Nairobi.
Just call it
in
the party then. Yes.
So if you're going to square it and box it into Luo Nyanza being happy, then you're going to lose the sight.
Okay,
of
give
the
it now the
conversation.
ODM then in general.
Exactly.
Yes.
In this election, for the ODM, not just negotiation, but for the sake of us analyzing analytically what maybe was there, what is not there, and what can be brought on board. It is a chance for the Orange Movement Party to analyze, because we are also, kuna mahali our party leader, Daktari Oburu Oginga Odinga said, hiyo kiti ya naibu wa rais tunailenga sana. Sisi kama chama, it is upon the UDA party to realign itself within its caucuses. I think that lies squarely with them. Again, maybe we have always regionalized our politics, and that's our ways of organizing and mobilizing from our regions. If maybe from that region, as maybe they are trying to quote it, may not deliver the numbers that maybe is required for a second term for President William Ruto. And then maybe may look elsewhere. That elsewhere, I think the talks are about to initiate between the UDA and the ODM party. As our party leader put the other day, that they are trying to finalize. I think this is the first time in history of our party that we're going to discuss to form a coalition, not on principles, personalities, and maybe positions, but on manifesto and ideals that need to be delivered to the people of Kenya for the first time. So if that can be a blessing to us as a political party, all political parties, they are not NGOs. Yes. ODM is one of them that was primarily formed to capture state power and have the ideals, the manifesto of the Orange Movement implemented to the Kenyans. If we get even a glimpse of a chance to have that opportunity to implement and implement the ODM manifesto, the ODM ideal position, the ODM agenda to the nation. We will do that without a blink of an eye. If maybe realignment, of course, as a party, we expect realignment in the UDA party. Hiyo kiti ya naibu wa rais sisi tunailenga. Tumesema that ODM as a political party must be part and parcel of the presidency come 2027. And that presidency, I think it's a two-pair of the president and the deputy president. That's where our conversation in. The welcoming and I think the defense that may be coming from the DCP party leader, I think to me, I may not be in a good position maybe to digest deeper or give my position.
Yes.
Wakili Nyamu maybe.
Yeah, Wakili, briefly actually, so that we go to the main topic.
Thank you very much. I want to start by telling you that we must appreciate where Professor Kindiki is coming from. The reason as to why they don't hold Professor Kindiki with very high regard, from the word go, I agree with Kagai, is because he's not an elected deputy president. You know, when you are an elected deputy president, you come to office with some legitimacy. But when you come as a result of other processes, you act like an appointee. I will give you 2 examples. Like Kagai was saying, do you know Professor Kithure Kindiki, for all those events that he goes around with choppers and all that, there's nothing that he plans. Everything is planned, budgeted for, money released. Then he's told there's an event in Bomet, you need to attend, and there's a chopper outside, or there's a helicopter at Wilson, just go and attend.
But how is it supposed to be?
He is supposed to be involved for the planning to say, tomorrow or Monday, I want to go to Bomet, then the neighboring county, then on Tuesday, I'm supposed to go to Meru, and Tharaka Nithi, like that. It is him who is supposed to direct his diary, not the other way around. Number 2, if you look at the employees in the office of the deputy president, normally what happens when a deputy president is appointed, is elected, he comes with his employees, the chief of staff, the drivers, the advisors, all those people, they're supposed to come with the deputy president. But for Kindiki, because he was appointed, all his employees, they act like spies. There's nothing that he can do this minute without William Ruto knowing the next minute, because all of them are appointed by Ruto boys. And when I talk of Ruto boys, you know, it's Kinasudi, Murkomen, Farouk, and so on and so forth. Moving forward, you've heard my party leader say that from now moving forward, we will not be attacking Professor Kindiki. Why?
Yes.
Because we do not have fundamental differences with Professor Kindiki. Professor Kindiki is a good man. He's our son, we can't deny him. Our only problem with Kindiki is association. You can't be associating with Hitler and you want to tell us you are a good person. That is why we have been attacking. However, there has been consultations, whether directly or indirectly, with Professor Kindiki through his men, and he has shared in confidence that they have started mistreating him. And because he is our son, he cried and told us even some of the things, I do not want to mention them here, the way they are. Sometimes a meeting is organized in State House where the president is supposed to attend, the deputy president is supposed to attend, and some people around the president. When he goes to that meeting, he finds his chair is occupied. You know, small madharaus,
The same madharaus we saw that time of Ruto.
Yes.
Is it? When he was the deputy president?
Yes.
I remember. Yes.
The same thing.
Yes.
So he shared. And because, you know, even if Kindiki is associating with the Hitlers of this world, he's still our son. He's our prodigal son. If he decides to come back home, because our DCP party is for everyone, we will welcome him with both hands and tell him, welcome home. You know we have been away. You know you have had, but that is not a problem. So that is why our party leader, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, gave us directions not to attack him. And from now henceforth, you will not hear DCP supporters calling Professor Kindiki soprano, sijui yule mtu wa sauti ndogo. That one is now water under the bridge.
Let me ask you before you finish with Professor. So do you think this the win in Olkalau has aggravated this situation?
That is where I was coming. Now, the reason as to why Kindiki reached out through proxies is because The reason as to why we are celebrating Olkalau is not just because of the results. Those ones are inconsequential. We are taking Ruto home either way. The reason as to why we DCP supporters are celebrating that win, it is settled around 4 main issues. One, who is the Mulima kingpin? That is a debate that is now settled. Even in government circles, even in William Ruto circles where we have Sudi, we have Murkomen, we have Farouk, it is settled. The kingpin of the mountain is none other than His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua. Point number 1. Point number 2, the party of the mountain is again settled. We are telling people to come to DCP. If you want to be elected a governor, a senator, a member of parliament, an MCA, in the mountain and the areas around the mountain and Nairobi here and some parts of Masai land, you have to be aligned properly. And what do I mean by being aligned properly? It is being in DCP. Number 3 that was settled is that, there was this debate, even when Raila was vying, these people were cheating him, Kina Kagai were cheating him. You only need 30% in the mountain and you will be the president. And that was correct. The arithmetic was correct. The only place that they were cheating him, they were telling him, you will get 30%. With Martha Karua as your running mate, you will get 30%. So same case.
How much did he get?
He did not get 30%. It was around 18%.
22%.
But it was not 30%.
But you remember, even you have come to know that through your government that you elected now, you actually confirmed that through your party leader. You guys stole our election.
Kagai, listen.
You stole our election.
Kagai, listen. Let me finish.
Because now
give Kagai mic.
No. Wait, Kagai. You will get your opportunity.
Kagai have confirmed that this government is a wrong government because it was a stolen government.
No. It was not stolen.
It never won.
It won.
How do you win with a minority in parliament?
No, listen.
Minority in counties.
Listen.
There is no magic about it. They stole our election.
Triza.
As Azimio.
I'm still on my feet.
You have touched somewhere. There is some supposed to be
the rules that have not healed.
You have actually touched on the past.
You will have an opportunity to respond.
You went to parliament, bought our MPs because you had none.
Wait.
This young man was in this Nairobi county where Azimio is a majority.
Wait.
He lost.
Wait.
The current county assembly of Nairobi, Azimio is the majority.
Wait.
He was an officer in this government.
Listen.
Until yeye akaona mwangaza akaoja one time akakimbizwa mbio na Sakaja.
Which is okay.
Seeing light.
Yes.
He saw light.
Listen.
So when you see light, you don't come and start stepping on our head.
Kagai, I have not finished my point.
This government stole Azimio's presidency.
I have not finished my point.
Don't go there.
What I was saying.
Let us go to one term.
Wait, Kagai. What I was saying, Azimio people in Mount Kenya were cheating Raila Odinga in 2022 that you need 30% to be president, which was correct, 30% in the mountain. The only thing that they were not accurate is that they were telling him you will get the 30%. So same case applies to William Ruto. The people in government from Mount Kenya are cheating him. You don't need a lot of votes to win. You just need 30% and you will get 30%. So what is my point? Another point that was proven by this by-election is that William Ruto and the mountain are separate. We have got nothing to do with William Ruto, and William Ruto will not even get 10% in the mountain. The reason as to why UDA got 5,000 votes is not because of William Ruto. It's because there was a gentleman called Mushina. Mushina is the son of the mountain. So we are kind people to our sons and daughters. We couldn't let him go empty-handed. Although he did not win, we didn't want him to win, but at least we wanted him to go home with something small. So that is why we gave him 5,000.
Otherwise, you are correcting the mistake you brought.
Otherwise, wait.
You have joined us of Azimio.
Let me finish. I have only 30 seconds. 30 seconds that I hand over to Gerard. Yes. So my point was,
he's now correcting the mistake.
My point is, if we have William Ruto on the ballot, I am telling you, he will not get 1,000 in any constituency. Yep. Gerard can now go.
Tricia, a point.
Yes, please.
Makosa, lazima niseme na Swahili. Makosa ya Daktari William Samoei Ruto kwa watu wa milima, hasa wafuasi wa DCP, ni kufanya kazi na kuungana na ODM na Raila Amolo Odinga. Hiyo ilikuwa makosa yake William Samoei Ruto. Juzi, I think naibu wa rais huyo alikuwa naibu wa rais Rigathi Gachagua. He confessed saying that the mistake started when William Ruto was meeting Raila Amolo Odinga. And then saying that Raila Amolo Odinga Baba didn't get presidency from Mount Kenya or good chunk of vote was because maybe at some point they've always viewed the former Prime Minister and the founding party leader Raila Amolo Odinga as a gentleman not welcomed in Mount Kenya. So correcting the mistake that they want to correct, ukiwauliza sahi ulize wakili Nyamu makosa ya Samuel Ruto ni gani hasa?
I will before you proceed, I want to answer it right now before you.
Makosa yake ni nini?
Our problem with William Ruto is electing our own elected impeaching our own elected deputy president. That is where we separated with him.
Number 2 nikimalizia.
No.
Number 2 nikimalizia.
Just a moment. You see the mistake, Trisha, with these two gentlemen. And why you cannot see me here or here, and I'm in Linda Mwananchi. It is because both of these young people, good men, my friends, they fail to understand their parties have no problem with William Ruto apart from impeachment. Have no problem because they are having something they are eating in government. The citizen of Kenya have a problem with William Ruto. And they have a problem with William Ruto because he has messed up the entire country. Before even Gachagua came to one term, we were still in one term. You understand? So the reason why it becomes a complicated discussion is this why huyu alienda kukula, huyu naye amerudi amefukuzwa. But mimi hapa kama Kagai, who is a very consistent politician, I am always looking at the best things of the people.
Stop blowing your own trumpet.
No, not blowing. Ameuliza swali umejibu. You are angry with Ruto because
post
impeachment. I post him. Why? Because he does not see anything wrong with William Ruto. But the entire country can see a problem with this regime. Why? Killing of our young people. Stealing of our money. All those things. They have nothing to do with
you see
impeachment.
That is where
they have nothing to do with Ruto as a person. It's how this government is looking at the people, prioritizing their
let Gerard finish, then I will have the right of reply.
Exactly.
Okay.
Number 2, Tricia. Number 2, Tricia, was maybe now the DCP party leader calling the DCP members not to attack Daktari Kithure Kindiki.
Yes.
To us, I think this degenerating at some point. We feel it that way. Why must parties attack individuals instead of attacking maybe the performance of the offices they are holding? If you must attack individual, why can they attack the office is holding as a DP, not him as Kindiki? It's also saddening and at some point relegating the roles of the political parties. They are not formed to attack individuals. They need to attack the ideas and the programs of the government, maybe and offer alternative to the state government as well. Not as now these people is putting that now we stop attacking him now. Whom do they want to attack? Can they offer and give an alternative on how the nation need to be run then? Number 3 nikimalizia ni ile celebration imekuwa pale Olkalau sana. Tutasema hapa wazi na tunajua that they have only won one
by-election.
Hey,
we have had 10.
Not one. Consequential by-election.
You have a tendency.
UDA was born in Olkalau.
You have tendency of cutting people short when they are landing.
Okay, finish.
I'm very accurate.
UDA was born in Olkalau. It died in Olkalau.
We have had 10.
That is how consequential it was.
We have had 10 by elections in the country. Out of 10, ODM UDA have won 9. They're also very consequential. They have won one. So this one celebration. Okay. Why do you want to make even out of it? That's the question.
Which facts are you using? Yeah. Because
the
previous elections are we
elections. The presidential, not the presidential, the Senate and MP
and MCA.
We have MCS. We also have somebody in North. Kariobangi North.
Let him finish. We will correct him. Let him finish.
Look at how the deployment.
Please don't do our work. We will correct him.
No, the time. Yeah, the time.
Okay, finish.
This one.
DCP has won properly.
Finish. Okay.
Not MCA.
Is it my turn now? Is it my turn now?
So, okay. So, how have we concluded?
He has concluded. He has concluded.
A one MP seat, like even is here.
Okay.
Now,
it's my turn.
Just seconds, please.
Just 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes.
2 minutes. No, 2 minutes.
Okay, 1 minute. He has asked what is our problem with William Ruto. I told him it's because he impeached our elected deputy president. But that was not all. The reason as to why William Ruto impeached Rigiji is because Rigiji was inside government and was telling the president the truth when he was inside government. He was telling him about the deaths of Gen Zs. He was telling him about the economy is collapsing. He was telling him about health. He was telling him about corruption in government. He was telling him about lies. Because President William Ruto cannot handle the truth, that is why he impeached Rigiji, and that is where our problem came in. Now, as I finish, this gentleman says that DCP has only won by-election. You know, being economic with the truth is such a bad thing. DCP has won Ol Kalou, hands down. DCP won Narok, hands down. DCP won Kariobangi, hands down. DCP won Western. I don't know, I can't remember. Kisa East, hands down. 4 by-elections. A party that was formed only 1 year ago. So we are telling them to wait for 2027. We are going to whitewash them. You know, that is what the standard said. Whitewashed.
Okay, let me ask you.
Yes.
Where have you taken Jubilee? Because it seems like DCP has just swallowed.
Jubilee is still there, but it's a dead party in the mountain in Nairobi. It is only in Kisii because Matiang'i is there.
Ooh.
Otherwise,
we didn't know that.
By the way, that was another conclusion for Ol Kalou.
Yes.
There is no Jubilee in Mount Kenya. So those people Kina Kioni who are cheating Matiang'i, you have Mulima support, zero.
Is it the reason why?
If you want Mulima votes, you must come through Rigiji.
From the party. Is it the reason why Pauline has resigned from the party?
Majorly, that's because
or Pauline has resigned because he's going to form a party together with Sifuna.
No. Because he has realized Jubilee is inconsequential. It's now a Kisii party. So the people who are supposed to be there are Kinaonyo.
People in DCP, you have your rights to brag, but don't overstep. And actually, you should pay me to reorganize your statements.
Please
Next time when you are
please
asked
don't organize my statement.
Listen, let me tell you.
Put across your statements.
No, let me tell you. Let me reorganize. You should pay me for that, because when somebody asks you, what is your problem with this government? You don't tell them because my dad was impeached. Why was he impeached? Now go back and build something that every Kenyan across the country may listen and actually realize his impeachment was wrong. But when you make it like that, Wakili Nyamu, people think this is a selfish idea. But because of whatever Rigiji opposed the demolitions in Nairobi.
Yes.
You understand? That is how you build your. But when you say don't.
So
now,
Kagai, yes.
To your question, do you know you're talking to even now? I don't think they have employed an administrator at Jubilee's head office, because I was the Jubilee head office administrator up to September 30th last year, where I resigned. All right. From all that time, yes, I've been a member, but from the national office, I've not. You don't say that Pauline has resigned because of this by-election. Pauline, who has been in Linda Mwananchi since the day it was formed. There's a call to our generation. There is something that our generation is yearning for in terms of leadership in this country. The last time I was here, if you go back to that clip, I say that young people of this country, they are so tired with political parties. That's why actually, when you see me, I don't talk about political parties. Because you don't need to belong to any political party to be an active political person in this country. You just need to know your constitution, know your rights, and know what you want in terms of governance. What Pauline has done is explain her statement to this nation. Because of my growth, all the experiences I've gained, where I am now, where I am going, that's why I'm resigning. Because when you look at Linda Mwananchi, from the day the first meeting was in Busia, the second one was in Kitengela. She was there. She has never missed any rally, any event, any church where Linda Mwananchi is. All right? So her reasons for resignation, the reasons for Sifuna even saying walinitoa kiti ya SG, wakanitoa minority whip, sasa hata wakujie shati. It is the reason why young people, young leaders are moving towards a certain direction to give credibility to our governance. Integrity back to the governance of this country.
Kenyans are eager to know what party Sifuna is going to unleash. And of course, they are saying that because Pauline used to work with with the former president, that is Uhuru Kenyatta, and most of the time he has been accused of being the one funding Sifuna. So people are waiting to see which party is this, and is it that the former president is behind that party as well? Just briefly. Yes.
You know why I'm laughing? Because this question has been answered by both Pauline Njoroge, Edwin Sifuna,
No, we don't want their answers.
I'm saying, yes, when people keep saying that Uhuru is funding, it's the government wanting for people to see this as his project.
Okay.
Which is so far from the truth.
Okay.
Very, very far. Because everybody has been caught unaware by what Linda Mwananchi movement is becoming. It has become the voice, the inspiration, and the future for the people, for the young people of this country. And remember, they are the majority voters. So when they decide to unite, when young people decide to walk in the same path towards the same direction, everybody is afraid. Everybody is afraid. Every person above that bracket. So what is coming, it is what already Sifuna has said. The structures are being done. What will be of that Linda Mwananchi government is being finalized. And then a party is going to be launched. That party of Linda Mwananchi, that is where I will be. That is what Pauline Njoroge, by the end of her statement, she's now focused towards Linda Mwananchi. Everything was in that statement.
Okay.
There is nothing away from it.
There's nothing.
And she has thanked the former party president
yes,
and her former party leader, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, for the mentorship, the exposure, the support. But there comes a time whereby all these that I have learned, I now need to put it into practice where it is acceptable.
Okay. Let's wait and see what happens. Yes.
What you will be waiting and seeing is another party, is a party of Linda Mwananchi being formed, being registered. That party going and taking government in 2027.
Okay.
Where Sifuna, we're calling now.
Okay.
This is very ridiculous. This is very ridiculous. There's one thing here today that I didn't know.
Yeah.
That's from Wakili Nyamu. That GP, the Jubilee Party, have been relegated and squeezed into the Kisii. And we must also remember that Kisii is perceived and will remain an orange zone. And our DPL is from Kisii.
It moved from orange to red.
No. So let me finish.
The yellow disappeared.
Talk.
So the thing is, we must agree here that the Jubilee Party, this I didn't expect that will come.
Yes.
When I met my comrade brother Kagai, I asked him, bro, what's happening in your political party?
Yes.
He told me, no, I'm no longer there.
Yes.
I'm partyless. Last time when we were with him, he was the Jubilee administrator. It is unfortunate that a gentleman like him saying that don't believe in the political parties. Well, we know the role of the political parties in our political space. They are not just organizations. These are where the ideals, the manifesto that run the nation are being made and are being formulated. So telling young people not to believe in the political parties, I think at some point, we from the political parties, which is a member, I think just the other day, we have been telling them that the partyless thing costed us at some point not to have a collective voice. We can't allow our generation to fall into that trap again. I'm pretty sure Wakili Nyamu from inside under the DCP youth leader, the lady, they are trying very hard to have young people in these political parties. So we can't degenerate back telling young people not to believe in these political parties. I think that's so unfortunate.
I think let me not take that track. You know, you have misquoted what I said. No. I have said, and I said it last time.
As I finish,
just a minute. Let me finish. I said when I was
write it down. Write it down.
Be brief.
You have been talking. The political parties, as they put it, Edwin Sifuna is a member of ODM party. We are having a strong feeling that they're trying to, Jubilee is trying to morph into some other movement. This is just a
Jubilee
Jubilee thing. Exactly. This gentleman is a Jubilee. Pauline Njoroge is a Jubilee. They're moving from their political party, and they've been pushing, elevating, and ballooning Sifuna to fall with a third without a political party. Why are they moving him from a properly organized political party into something unknown? We don't know the head, the tail, and where it is moving to. We are talking about generation. Each generation must find its purpose and fulfill it. And this had happened before. We are still doing it even in our political organizations. We are not barred from sharing ideas and maybe ideals that we may share, all from our political grills. I find it sometimes very easy comparing notes with him, even when he was in Jubilee and I'm in ODM. Even after walking out, maybe leaving us into the one term and leaving us into this quarter in Azimio that we have been members of, up to date ODM still a member. You have also asked about the Pauline Njoroge now resignation. Yes. I think it is a signal to all the parties that have formed government that have never been structured. Jubilee being one of them. And maybe even the money they're talking about, that we don't know it. We must have these political parties structured properly. It's unfortunate that my gentleman here are saying that they are going to follow in Sifuna, and we are expecting them maybe to offer alternative ideal or how they're going to run government, or from a personality as an organization. I think that's what DCP is trying to do. That's why Rigiji had to go form a DCP party, to have an organization where they can collectively offer an alternative to the country. You can tell that now it is Sifuna and there's no proper organization. We also know that Linda Mwananchi in there, we have MPs, senators from Wiper. Are they going to resign from Senate, from Wiper? We have the ones from DAP-K. Are they going to walk out from DAP-K? And then the question comes in, are we going to lose those all comrades who are in the Jubilee, the non-members of the Jubilee, into the Linda Mwananchi? This is one of the tough questions, because we have political parties in the Linda Mwananchi.
Those are not tough questions.
Let me land. We also remember that Caleb Amisi formed a political party and is the pioneer and founder of Linda Mwananchi. He had the People's Renaissance Movement. That's a political party in there. We're asking them, why can't they use that one? Why must someone, each and every person, form as a briefcase staff to walk around with? If already in their organization, already in that movement,
I don't know whether to answer you that they are at will to do whatever they want.
Let me say
because
this.
Actually, I want you people to comment on something before we wind up, because we are late.
Just to correct him on this.
Yes.
I did not say young people should not believe in political parties. I said, and I repeated last time I was here, young people are so fed up with political parties. Why? Because they have become instrument of limiting young people towards leadership. You see, this young brother of mine, he consults me more than seniors in ODM. And the value of wisdom I give it to him, it takes him higher, even though, because I want him to grow. I'm not jealous of him. But for him to reach his youth leader, not even Oburu, Ketora, it is so hard.
Now work with Ketora.
You see, no, wait. Yes, reachable, but in terms of your growth, they're not, because they become barriers. They don't want you to access whatever they have up there. Ketora actually is not in the youth bracket. I have seen even a like complaining. Why is he still the youth leader? The political parties, by structure, limit young people from growth in terms of their political careers. So young people are looking at these things and saying,
reserve time for me.
Yes,
you know, this gentleman can talk and talk.
Exactly, because it is wisdom talking. And even if we want to form new political parties or join the existing ones, it has to be deliberate. You know exactly to what you are going into. You cannot just go to a political party for the sake of it. You have said very well, I was in Jubilee. You keep repeating that Sifuna is still in ODM. He is elected under ODM ticket. So you cannot just walk away and say, now I've resigned ODM. He has to finish his term because we want him as president in Kenya. But under what outfit? When they say they don't understand whether Linda Mwananchi has legs or heads, that is how you see it. Linda Mwananchi is continuing with the same vision as Azimio had.
Thank you.
Finish. I'm finishing.
Because
when Raila was going out of the country,
yes,
for some time, then he came back. We were saying, Baba, while you are away, they did this and then that. Now, do you know the painful thing that we are saying? Since Baba, you left this world, they have killed democracy.
They have brought brutality to our doorsteps in broad daylight.
I have a final question. Yes.
So whatever Linda Mwananchi is, we are focusing on what the people
I have
of
a
Kenya
final
wants.
question.
Yeah, and it's me
And
who is
this
supposed
is
to.
around the new national vision that the report was unleashed today. That is, the report was given today at State House presented to the president, and of course the team led by Governor Anyang' Nyong'o from Kisumu. You saw what they've done, and the question that I want to ask: do you think this is a bold economic blueprint, or it is just another political promise? Looking back at what we have in the Vision 2030, whereby it was, I think it was just to answer or to bring our country to such levels as those of the first world countries in terms of manufacturing, industrialization, and all that.
Thank you very much. Briefly, I want to answer to what they were saying, then I'll finish with your question in 2 minutes' time. I was saying Jubilee is dead. There's no question about that. If you want to know it's dead, there's no way you can say it's alive and it's being led by people like Wambogongo Njiri, like Kioni, and people like Zaki Nuthia.
Like Matiang'i.
Matiang'i is better, but those ones, especially from our region, tells you it's dead. Now, moving on to Linda Mwananchi very fast. You know, Triza, what Linda Mwananchi, especially Sifuna and Babu Owino and the rest are doing, and that is why I agree with Gerard, they are engaging in what we call wild goose chase. They are not doing anything. If you want to know they are not doing anything, and we had advised Sifuna to form a political party and build structures and work with it, but he refused. You know, they are doing rallies. They go to Machakos, they hold a very big rally, and then they think those are their supporters. Politics is local. When they go to Machakos and fill a stadium, those are not their supporters. Those are Wiper supporters. When they go to Thika and hold a very big rally and say those are their supporters, that is misleading. Those are not their supporters. Those are DCP supporters. When they go to Kisii and hold a mega rally, you know, they hold a mega rally and they say they have a support in Kisii. That is a lie. That is a Jubilee zone. The person who is commanding that region is Matiang'i. So what Sifuna needs to do is to form a political party. We are not telling him to have a tribal political party, but you must start home and then expand. If you are a good student, you will know Raila Odinga. When he formed his first political party, he first consolidated Luo Nyanza, and then when he realized it was now okay, he expanded to Kisii, he went to Coast, he went to Kambani, and so on and so forth. When Gachagua started DCP, he started calling it a Mlima Party, but now we are slowly expanding to Narok, to Masailand, and so on and so forth. So for Sifuna to thrive, the only way to thrive is to form a political party, go to Bungoma where he comes from, start from there, Kakamega, expanding, Nairobi, and elsewhere. Otherwise, they are doing a lot of... let me ask you, do you think there are votes that Babu Owino is having in Thika? Zero. Do you think there are votes Babu Owino is having in Machakos? Zero. They're just excited by crowds. Politics is local. Linda Mwananchi is nothing. And Gerard had said, if you look at Linda Mwananchi, they are Wiper Party members, they are Wiper Party members of parliament, they are ODM members of parliament, all political parties. So we are asking, at the end of the day, do you think Wiper members of parliament will vie with Linda Mwananchi? They will go back to Wiper.
Now, let me say something. And
now, before you say something,
then I come in.
Yeah, before you say something, there's a question you had asked about that vision.
Yes,
I don't even know. I don't want even to talk about it because it's nonsense on steel. So it's another political promise. There's Vision 2030. There are so many others that are just gathering dust. So I don't want to elaborate about that.
Vision
2030 there's no vision there.
Yes.
You know, sometimes it becomes so painful to come on these shows and discuss politics with my peers, because these are my peers. He's a bit younger, but he's still in the same bracket. When you want to reduce politics to these regions, it's not a bad thing. It is a campaign machinery to make sure everybody comes to vote. But that should not be the description of how leadership of this country should be determined. When you say that Sifuna does not have votes in Thika because there was a big rally, there is no votes because just recently, last weekend, we were in Voi and there was a big rally. When you say like that, I have one question to you as a Wakili. Do you believe in our constitution?
Our
Just a simple
constitution,
question.
our constitution is
No,
different from the political realities of our country.
Do you believe in our constitution?
I do, absolutely.
Then it states that you don't even have to be a member of a political party to vote.
I'm not talking about voting.
Just listen, let me finish.
I'm talking about support.
Exactly, that support is not measured because you are a member of DCP. That influence that you have, it is not measured because you are a member of Jubilee Party. Do you know in Olkalau, for your information? In Olkalau.
Linda Mwananchi had a candidate in Renaissance Party. Yeah, Renaissance Party. They got 100 votes.
Are you listening?
Yes.
I was the one organizing the rally for Olkalau and Nyahururu. Then Gachagua advised us, if you come, they will use that violence to cancel the election. So don't do that rally. I was there. That's why I was in Olkalau, my friend.
That was
my point is this.
They wanted to ride on our...
No, we are not riding. It's not our candidate. My point is this. I'm not finished.
It's not landing.
No. Let me finish. You see, in Olkalau, by fact, by record, Jubilee Party has more members than any other party. But they chose DCP. It doesn't mean because you belong to this political party, then automatically you'll vote a person from that political party. Sifuna is becoming a threat to both political establishment. That is why you hear these narratives. Sifuna has come out as a person for the Kenyans. If people love Sifuna across this country, they will vote him even if he's an independent candidate because he's a lawyer. He's actually his name. His name is Edwin Wakenya Sifuna.
So I think
so when you talk about rallies does not equate Sifuna's influence, my friend.
I think
you'll be shocked.
You have asked a very serious question.
And actually, as a young person, don't take us to these regions.
You have asked a very serious question.
Yes.
But maybe before I answer it, nations are not built on car roofs, neither are they built on podiums. They are built when there's constructive organization or collecting views and having ways of how to implement them. And that's where the political parties come in.
Yes.
When they were in Voi, did they collect the views of Voyans? And are they going to put them collectively? When they were in Thika, when they went to Kitengela, to Busia, and so on and so forth. That's why the question that Wakili is asking is making sense to me. What else after the rally? What next? That's a very important question.
Wait for
we
it.
can't build a nation
August, September, wait for it.
We can't build a nation or offer alternative to our country on car roofs, unfortunately. There's a question as well that he pulled for me on why maybe the President Ketora is still in office. ODM is having election going on, my brother. Don't worry about it. And we have done it to all the 47 counties. We are moving forward into the national election very in few months. To your question now, on the Vision 2030, is it a bold economic blueprint or another political promise? This is a vision that was conceptualized into it, and I think the brainchild of this Vision 2030 was one of the best cabinet that we have ever had as a nation after in the Grand Coalition government, Kibaki-Raila government. And we remember this is a vision that had put us to be where we should be with our peers, Singapore, and maybe the North Korea, if I'm not wrong. But where did we lost it? To a point that now we are trying to resuscitate it again. When Jubilee came into power in 2012, they had the 4-point agenda and discarded and forgot about the Vision 2030. How I wish Jubilee government could have sticked to the Vision 2030. You get? And I think that's a question that we have been asking ourselves. Can we have continuity in governance? That when a government comes in, they don't discard the previous regime's progressive developments.
Yes.
When the UDA come in, they say that the bottom up. I'm pretty sure in the bottom up, the one that is coming out very clear from the Jubilee 4-point agenda is affordable housing. These other ones, we are forgetting them. Like they had the food security, we had the affordable housing, manufacturing, and universal health coverage. From the four, UDA have focused purely on affordable housing. They are no longer talking about the Golala Kolalo, the food security in our country.
What are you
Galala
saying?
Kolalo.
They are talking about it every now and then.
Not about talking. Are they doing something about it? The thing I'm talking about, Trish.
Remember, it's in broad-based.
The thing I'm talking about, give me time.
Yes.
The thing I'm talking about, can we be able to have continuity in our governance. In 2027, a government that comes in and then going to discard all the gains and progress that maybe the UDA government have made. You see, this is where now the Vision 2030 comes in. We could have been very far economically as a nation if we could have sticked the Jubilee government then, which was led by its party leader, could have sticked to the Vision 2030. How I wish Dr. William Samoei Ruto could have sticked to this Vision 2030. For me, the presentation that we had today is a clear that the country, Kenya, and ODM party that you have worked with before, you understand this manifesto, you understand what we stand for, we understand what we believe in as a party. The Vision 2030 is one of our backbone, where we withdrew some of our aspiration as a party. And this Vision 2030 is not just a mere political promise. We expect it to be a bold economic blueprint for our country. In these 2 years, maybe it is capable, we can have a turnaround.
Which 2 years?
In this 2030, it is 3 years. In these 3 years, we maybe have our overall turnaround on how we are approaching our economic situation and the growth. Can we be able to industrialize our economy? Can we be able to modernize our cultural sector? These are some of the eminent questions and ideas that we need to tackle as a country.
Kagai, you didn't say anything about...
my take on that,
Yes.
I don't want to pity him for lack of recollection. If there is one government that has been consistent on Vision 2030, it was actually, Oparanya is the architect during Kibaki's government. Oparanya was the head of that task force that came about with Vision 2030. He's a very smart guy. Kibaki set the foundations. Uhuru came in and started implementing it. You cannot talk about security for a country or manufacturing if there is three fundamental things. One, infrastructure. Jubilee government went big. They were being called the big push projects. They went big on infrastructure.
Yes.
No president has done roads as much as Uhuru has done. Number two, they went on the what we call the electricity last mile connectivity. No government has connected families to electricity more than Uhuru Kenyatta. Number three, they actually went to, that was electricity, that is infrastructure, and then now they came to education. You cannot go to manufacturing without a skilled workforce. The reforms in our education through C.S. Matiang'i, meritocracy that came about with that, everybody can attest the focus of those three items, which is part of Vision 2030. It happened during the Jubilee government. The only problem that came about is that this government, when they came in, instead of what he's talking about, continuity, they had to stop everything, reinvent everything for them to get these kickbacks, these cuts. And then, because they are not working anything out, the first 2 years of Dr. William Ruto, he was launching projects done even 2-3 years back. The water project that have been launched by and commissioned by Uhuru, they are painted again. A placard of Uhuru Kenyatta is removed. They put for William Ruto, come to launch it. For what? For just publicity. But right now, they are trying to struggle to start with the Mau Summit. What happened to Mau Summit? With Uhuru, as he was leaving office, it was already for implementation. Properly negotiated and everything. For I think 160 billion. What did Ruto do? Cancel it, put his markup in there, take it to 200 and something. 200. Now he's even struggling to take it through because people seeing the construction going on, but they don't know it's actually NSF money that is more working there. So what happened during Jubilee Party was now continuity. Their roads, if people knew that it is Uhuru's project, they will think it is Kibaki's project. Even the southern bypass, people think it is Kibaki. It was Uhuru when he came in immediately. Because what they had built with Kibaki, when he was a finance CS, they carried along throughout in his regime. So that's why there were so many projects happening in Kenya at the same time. But this government put a hold on all of them. They knew better. Now they are struggling. You are launching a blueprint after 4 years of your election. What have you been doing in 4 years?
No, this is a long-term.
What long term? We have what it is. They only need to unlock the project.
These people want to talk and talk again.
I think before, that's one thing.
you had said
That's
you
one
have
point.
nothing to talk
That's one
about
point.
this.
Tricia, on this, we
But
must
now
remember.
I
We must
left my
remember
entire time to you.
on the last mile connectivity.
Yes.
We all remember that Wanda is not sitting at Kawi House. It's always outside there on the last mile connectivity. I think
Campaigning.
not campaigning on the last mile connectivity. Maybe you may not understand the region coming from. Maybe this is the first time some of us are seeing transformers in our regions. Maybe this is the first time some of our kids are seeing
Remember, I have
seeing
just
electricity.
asked
Exactly.
you Nyanza a long time.
You know, maybe this is the time. I'm from Kanyamako, say in Kayambo, where Agoma is coming from. Maybe this is the first time. Maybe a kid is seeing electricity line and pole in that area. So we may not understand. It's not campaign. I think Wangada is not sitting at Kawi House on last mile connectivity. That's, I think, a continuation. We must also not forget that there are some that have been work in progress. This vision didn't just lie somewhere. We must also remember the IT. This government and the previous government, they have tried so hard to launch and have IT hubs running across the nation. I think that's within the Vision 2030. Both UBL and UDA.
Okay.
We must also remember on agriculture.
UDA zero.
Bro, let me talk. We must also remember in agriculture as well. I think this government, the UDA, the Kenya Kwanza government, they subsidized the fertilizers, if I'm not wrong, in our food basket. I think for the past few years we haven't been importing our food. In most cases, as it was before. Today, I think things are a bit different. Again, last week Kimaliza.
Let me just
on financial, the finance sector. Though there are some that they've been implementing, that at some point I find myself disagreeing on how it's being done. The problem from my end, and maybe the league I'm coming from, is how. It is a good idea, but how? We have the Nyota Fund and the ASLA. But how it was and it's being implemented is, at some point, we feel it's not reflecting in our economy and the life of the young people. But these are the ideas and these are the pillars that I strongly believe that these two subsequent governments have picked from the Vision 2030. Let's give credit to where it's due. Thank you.
Too generous.
Yeah. So I don't know whether there's anyone who wants to make a call. I think we are behind time so much. We only have 9 minutes to 10, so I think we can try to wind up. Actually,
Yes.
we wind up. Yeah, you just finish yours, then we wind up.
So thank you very much for this. Was a wonderful discussion. Probably I will not get some other time to say something. I am surprised that Jared is saying that this government has improved food security, that we are no longer importing food from outside.
We no longer import maize.
You need to do good research. As early as this month, we have imported rice and we are still importing maize. Some people in government are making big business out of maize. Number two, I've heard you talk about Hustler Fund. I do not think you even want us to get into this discussion. People got 500. From there, what is your
14 billion disappeared.
What
is your Hustler? Wait,
Wait,
Jared, what is your Hustler? What is your Hustler Fund limit so far?
That thing was not successful. It was a good idea, but how it was implemented. How?
Many people got 500. Now Oparanya tells us the country has a debt of, I think, 50 billion shillings.
That's the question now.
Can you imagine? If you want to know,
by a private company.
if you want to know,
It's a private business.
if you want to know, Ruto is such a poor manager. Do you know how many roads 50 billion can build in this country? But because he wanted to impress people with handouts, because Ruto is a person who cannot survive with handouts. Even that thing called Nyota Fund, it's still handout. Unfortunately, it is loan from IMF borrowed to come and give handouts, and then we will pay with a lot of interest. So I'm wondering when.
And you remember, Kindiki was even ashamed when now a lady came with a phone. Kindiki said, umepata 22,000. No, maybe umepata 19. He was even shocked.
He does not
I remember that day, and actually people were saying that it was a script. There was nothing really happening. That's what people were saying, that it was a script. Yeah, he was really shocked.
Otherwise,
it was wrong.
Otherwise, I don't think I have anything else.
My parting lines is that as Kenyans, when you look at what we have discussed about the police and you look at these projects and you look at all these things around, I think there's a serious call on resetting our country towards a better political dispensation. There's a statement I wrote today somewhere, and actually I'm thinking about it, that old wineskins cannot hold new wine. Where this country has come and what we are looking into our future, there is no way we can set newness of this country in terms of governance with the same old political perspectives. Even these old guards, I heard they are called old guards because they are guarding their space of power. Political parties have really tried to limit how young people engage and ascend to political leadership, because they all think about power. Even these ones are looking for power. But young people are not even looking for power. They are looking for leadership, where we can steer our country into a better country in terms of education, infrastructure, engineering, all of those things, so that every young person has a fair chance in this country. And when I sit here, I'm a Kikuyu who has not joined DCP. So when they say DCP is the party of the mountain, it's all right. I don't fight that. But I'm also from the mountain, but I have chosen to be in Linda Mwananchi. What they're saying that they don't know what Linda Mwananchi is becoming, it will become very soon. It will provide a president who will value every citizen of this country, who will respect the rule of law. Edwin Sifuna, the reason I, as Joseph Kagai, have decided to follow and believe in his cause, it is because when I hear him, when I look at him at Senate, everywhere he appears, he's there protecting the interest of the people. As my senator in Nairobi, the interest of the people of Nairobi. As his other roles in Senate, when he sits out with these governors during accounting for their expenditures, like today, Kangata was there. When you hear him in those meetings, he has been associated with a person who always looks after the interests of the people.
Okay.
So when he goes to State House, I am sure of one thing. He's not going there with his ego, with his experience as Metoka wapi mawapi. He's going there because Kenyans want him there. As a Kenyan, a young person, I want Sifuna in State House. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think it's also very important to note, on 26th this month, July, the ODM Youth League Brigades will be in Kakamega, and we urge all the ODMers, the league, to come. We will be having Youth League convention, to have a convention as young people of this great political party. Tisha, allow me to send my condolences to comrade fraternity across the country, to be very specific, for losing Comrade Elvis, that is Beast, who was a dependable comrade in ODM, very industrious youth league member, and was also the ODM communist chapter leader in Coast. So losing such a young person when his life was just about to peak has got our generation and those in this leadership and political space with shock. My special range condolences to the family, friends, and the entire comrade fraternity. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we also pass our condolences to the family, for that loss. So thank you so much, my people, for coming. Thank you, Wakili, for coming. Thank you, Kagai, for coming. Thank you, Oyer, for coming. I'm also seeing people of the internet. Yeah, they are still there. And of course, conversing amongst themselves. There are so many. There are so many concerns. There are so many opinions they've put there. So you can as well go and check what they are saying. So thank you so much for choosing Political Headache to be your platform tonight, and to also join us in this conversation. My name is Trisha Wayua. Until next time, if you're not subscribed, we are saying please subscribe. Let's continue with these conversations. Have a good night. Goodbye for now.
Not very much, and I just had a break to tell you about my new book. Everybody says that there is no job, and that is true. Also, that was me 10 years ago. The problem is that everybody is trying to get a job in their town, in their city, in their marketplace. They ask friends for jobs, mothers call uncles, uncles call brothers, but there are no jobs. Let me tell you what no one is telling you. Jobs migrated online. What I actually mean is there are many, many jobs around the world, and there is no one to do them except you. I work for Americans myself. I work for Europeans. I work for the Chinese. I work for the Australians. I work for the Canadians. And so, because I have done so much for myself, I said to myself, you know what? I should compile what I've been doing for the last 15 years. So in 2024, I wrote a digital book called Goldmine 18 Hustles for Africans. And then in 2025, AI came. People say AI is taking away our jobs. And for me, I'm going to say false. There are actually AI jobs. Jobs are not being taken by AI, but there are new jobs online that are there because of AI. Now, mimi ni nani? I created more jobs. And for now, in my new book, we have 25 online and offline jobs that you can leverage on if you do not have a job. So in this powerful volume 2, I share 25 new actionable online hustles specifically researched and tailored for Africans. My new book provides clear step-by-step guidance drawing from my extensive experience and research, including the mistakes I've made and lessons I've learned over the 15 years that I have worked online. So what can you do online? You can become an executive assistant for busy folks in Europe, America, Canada, and get paid for tasks like watching videos and taking online surveys. Okay? You can build a lot of things. Build a business as a virtual assistant, start an e-commerce shop without capital, be an affiliate marketer, or you can also become actually an English tutor and tens of AI jobs. If you have a job, that is fine. But I also know, but you can buy this book for that brother, for that sister, for that mother, for that cousin, for that husband who is watching Netflix all day at home. Buy it for your friend who is always asking for cash. You know that friend. Now, all the information is on the description below. You can also inbox me, you can WhatsApp me, or go to my website, which is odworjegero.co.ke.